Fans in shock as Maurice Sam confronted Bryan Okwara in a movie location. Guys, this one shocked a lot of people, especially those who thought the whole situation had finally been laid to rest. What started as a quiet breakup that many assumed had been healed with time suddenly resurfaced in a very dramatic way, and this time, it happened right on a movie set, in front of colleagues and insiders who never expected such tension between two respected actors, Maurice Sam and Bryan Okwara. Following Maurice Sam's breakup with Sonia Oche, many fans believed the chapter had closed. The relationship, once admired by people who felt the shared genuine chemistry. But like many relationships, things fell apart. According to close sources, the breakup wasn't sudden. It was filled with misunderstandings, emotional exhaustion, and unresolved issues that lingered for months. Even after they went their separate ways, there was still a quiet hope on Maurice's side that reconciliation was possible. As time passed, Sonia focused on healing and rediscovering herself. Friends say she became more guarded, more intentional about her peace, and less interested in revisiting old wounds. It was during this phase of her life that Bryan Okwara reportedly came into the picture. From all indications, Bryan didn't step in as a replacement, but as someone who genuinely connected with her at a time when she had already moved on emotionally. Their bond grew gradually, quietly, without noise or public validation. However, Maurice Sam didn't see it that way. Sources close to him claimed that he felt betrayed, not necessarily by Sonia alone, but by the timing of Bryan's presence in her life. In Maurice's mind, Bryan's involvement closed the door on any chance of reunion. He reportedly believed that if Bryan hadn't come around, Sonia might have reconsidered and given their relationship another chance. Guys, relax as gist on the recent confrontation between Maurice Sam and Bryan Okwara. Hello my amazing viewers. If today is the first time coming across my channel, Celebrity Gist TV, you are highly welcome. And to my returning subscribers, you all have a genuine special place in my heart. Please kindly hit that subscribe button and turn on your notification bell, so that each time I drop fresh gist, you will be among the first to be notified. Guys, in recent developments, Maurice began openly blaming Bryan Okwara for stepping in between him and Sonia. He confided in friends that the issues he and Sonia had were not strong enough to permanently end things, insisting that with patience and time, they could have found their way back to each other. To him, Bryan's presence felt like an interruption to an unfinished story. On the other hand, Bryan Okwara maintained a completely different stance. He reportedly made it clear that when he met Sonia, she was single, emotionally detached from her past, and fully moved on. According to Bryan, there was no overlap, no secret moves, and no betrayal involved. However, things escalated last week in a way no one saw coming. Both actors happened to be on the same movie location, a coincidence that many now say was bound to spark tension. At first, the atmosphere was calm. Crew members noticed the awkward distance between them but assumed professionalism would prevail. Unfortunately, emotions that had been bottled up for months finally erupted. Eyewitnesses say Maurice Sam arrived on set already looking visibly upset. His mood was tense, his movements restless. When he finally spotted Bryan, something shifted. Instead of ignoring the situation or waiting for a private moment, Maurice reportedly walked straight up to Bryan in a confrontational manner. Maurice allegedly accused Bryan of ruining his chances with Sonia, telling him directly to leave her because he was still interested and not ready to let go. His voice was raised, his words charged with anger and frustration. People nearby say it was less about logic and more about unresolved emotions finally spilling out. Bryan, shocked but composed, tried to calm the situation. He defended himself firmly, stating that both he and Sonia had moved on before anything began between them. He reportedly told Maurice that love cannot be forced, and that Sonia was not a possession to be claimed or reclaimed. Bryan emphasized that he didn't take anything from anyone, and that he only stepped in after the chapter between Maurice and Sonia had fully closed. This response only fueled Maurice's anger. The argument intensified quickly, drawing attention from other actors, crew members, and production staff. What began as a heated exchange of words soon looked like it could turn physical. Body language became aggressive, voices grew louder, and the tension was thick enough to halt filming momentarily. At that point, other actors stepped in. Several colleagues rushed to separate both men, forming a barrier between them before things went completely out of control. Crew members reportedly urged them to calm down, reminding them of the professional environment and the consequences such an altercation could bring. It took a few intense moments before both parties were pulled apart and escorted in different directions. The set fell into silence afterward. People present say the energy changed instantly. What was supposed to be a normal filming day turned into a whispered topic of shock and disbelief. Many couldn't believe emotions from a past relationship had escalated to such a level, especially in a professional space. Later on, insiders revealed that Bryan was deeply disturbed by the confrontation, not because of fear, but because he felt unfairly accused. To him, being blamed for another man's unresolved feelings was unjust. He reportedly told close friends that he respects boundaries and would never intentionally come between two people who were still together. Maurice, on the other hand, was said to be overwhelmed by regret and anger at the same time. While some sources claim he felt embarrassed after the incident, others insist he still believes his feelings are valid and that his reaction came from pain rather than malice. As for Sonia Uche, those close to her say she was not present at the location and only heard about the incident afterward. Reports suggest she was deeply saddened by the turn of events, especially because she had hoped everyone involved had found peace. Friends say she values calm and emotional maturity, and the confrontation only confirmed why she chose to move forward with her life. Fans online have been divided. Some sympathize with Maurice Sam, arguing that heartbreak can push people to act irrationally, especially when they feel replaced or forgotten. Others strongly defend Bryan Okwara, praising his composure and insisting that no one owns another person's future. Many also expressed concern for Sonia, noting that she seems to be at the center of a conflict she never asked for. One thing is certain, this incident has reopened conversations about boundaries, healing, and emotional responsibility after breakups. Love stories don't always end neatly, but how people handle the aftermath says a lot about their character. As the industry watches closely, many are hoping that both actors will find a way to resolve their differences privately and move forward without further drama. Careers, reputations, and personal peace are all at stake, and sometimes, letting go is the hardest but most necessary step. Guys, what do you think? Was Maurice justified in confronting Bryan, or should he have handled things differently? Did Bryan truly step in at the wrong time, or was he simply part of Sonia's new chapter? Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more updates. I love you.